windshield of a police car, from the inside of the police car, from the back seat with a rifle, shot through the front windshield, shot a guy in the back of the head at a Walgreens. His second killing, he's a cop again. That's almost as bad a shooting as Trevor's. So there's probably a pretty good chance Lamatia is going to become a cop again. And I don't know if the city even knows this or if you guys even care. But the way the system is run right now can't be this way. There's no way a guy that's killed 5 people in this town should become a cop again. Thanks.
Next, Ramon Rodriguez.
Good evening, council members and community. The last meeting, I wasn't in there, but we watched it, and I was disgusted by the way these 3 neo-Nazis came, and they're not just out of the woods neo-Nazis. These are really dangerous neo-Nazis, and they expressed their ideology of hate, their genocidal intent to murder people, and it's disgusting. This is what happened in El Paso, in Jacksonville, Florida, and in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and in Charleston, South Carolina, when you have neo-Nazis having that mentality to kill people because of their way of their creed. And also, I'm really disappointed that instead of doing what's right, instead of condemning the neo-Nazis and saying a comment to everyone that the city condemns their hatred and that Modesto is a welcoming and inclusive community, you just tell about the Brown Act and shutting them down and shutting Zoom just because of these 3 monsters spewing hate. It's disgusting. It's a punishment for people who really use Zoom for public comment meetings, for actual things that a city really needs. And that includes like reforming the police department, dealing with the homeless issue, infrastructure, affordable housing, everything. And that's because these 3 morons who decided to spew nasty, bigoted, vile, and violent things, you just took it away from people who really need it. I mean, people cannot afford to come to the council meeting because they have other things, working, taking care of children, no other alternative means of transportation, disability, or people who are still affected of COVID. You need to reframe the priorities, and you guys still haven't learned from the lesson from the Proud Boys from a few summers ago. You should have taken that chance to strongly condemn the neo-Nazis, but instead you just remain silent and just say some lukewarm things that their comments not welcome. And also, it's disgusting because the community right now, everyone, the marginalized people everywhere, they're in danger because they're being targeted by hatred, and hatred has no place in a community. So I urge you all, if they come here again, neo-Nazis, racists, bigots, because you know what? These are the same people that were in Straight Pride like a month ago, spewing hatred, anti-Semitism, racism. You guys need to stand up and tell the whole world that Modesto is not a place for hate. It's a place for inclusivity, diversity, and a place where everyone's welcoming and full of equality. Thank you.
Welcome. Next is Gladys Williams.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here this evening to invite any of you who have not already been invited to Repairing the World on Sunday. Our mayor has graciously consented to be on our panel for that movie, and we have Jeremiah Williams representing the NAACP. Repairing the World is a documentary that was produced by Patrice O'Neill. And we have been practicing not in our town, in our community. And this Sunday, the doors will open at 2 o'clock at Brendan Theater. It is a free documentary that you can come and see. We have popcorn for you free as well. And we have sponsors who are the NAACP, the Latino Roundtable, California teachers, Modesto teachers, Turlock teachers, Ceres teachers, and we also have the California Rural Legal Aid, I think I may have mentioned, and we've asked the Peace Life Center to partner with us as well, and we have people from the Beth Shalom who are supporting this event. We are also having new posters printed that this size on hard cardstock that you can put in your windows in your home that show and let people know that you're standing up against hate. We do not have funding yet for this large one. This is the one that is normally used in businesses, and we still need $500 to get these printed. So if anyone would like to donate to that, please feel free to donate to it. The tickets, again, are free. You can go on to NAACP ModestoStanislaus.org and get your free ticket. You need an e-ticket or you need a hard copy ticket to attend. We must all stand together. One of the things, we will have the U.S. Attorney present, we will have the Department of Justice present, and they will be telling us how we properly identify hate crimes and how to report those hate crimes. This is a crucial need in our community, and we must band together and support one another so that our community has the message that there is no place in this community for hate crime. On March 12th through the 19th is National Stamp Out Hate Crime Week. And the city and the police department have graciously came in support of the NAACP, and we will have a march that day. And we will have Patrice O'Neill as our keynote speaker for that event on March 12th. Please join us and support us. If I can be of any help to you in any way, Sue knows how to get in touch with me. Jeremiah knows how to get in touch with me. And there are other people in the community. I am here to support the community to stamp out hate. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Brittany Chavez.
I'm the wife of Paul Chavez, who was wrongfully murdered by Samuel Muncie. And it's been over a year, and there has still been no accountability. No action. All I hear is words. I don't see any involvement from any one of you guys that is on this board. I'm sick and tired of hearing how we're doing this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. The Forward Together and all that other stuff that you guys been doing, the things that I've been seeing online, you have cops who are going in there and telling people, the members you guys chose to speak up for people like me on what their job duties are, on what they're supposed to do, on what they expect. That's not okay. That angers me. And I know it angers others. I stand in solidarity with Darlene and justice for Trevor as well. How many times is it gonna take until you guys stand up and actually say, this is enough? Y'all can't be sitting here holding hands, acting like things are changing. Things don't change unless movement is involved. Talk is talk. Talk is cheap. What I wanna see is action. My husband was killed within 26 seconds, sleeping on a neighbor's lawn. 26 seconds, and Officer Goretti came out with a gun pointed at him. Tased, shot. Did any of you guys even watch the video? Because it's hurtful. Cops are paid to de-escalate, not to murder. You have murderers that are on the force who are roaming our streets for another kill. I have a problem with that. It's disgusting. I do not like it. It's hurtful and it's demeaning. And then to find out that these guys can get their jobs at, well, Muncie didn't even get fired. He got paid leave. So did Valencia. And now the one that happened to Trevor Seaver, I don't understand. If it was a regular civilian, where would they be at right now? In jail. The moment that you have them treated like a regular civilian, I guarantee change will be made. You need to have them be accountable just like us. And I promise you change will be made because they ain't gonna wanna go to jail. They're gonna think twice about pulling that trigger. How many of them have non-lethal weapons and they don't even use them? Y'all wanna give your money to everything that besides what needs to be corrected. Do y'all jobs.
All right, next is Teresa.
Hello, Council. I'm Teresa Clutter, mother-in-law of Paul Chavez. I am here, as always, first and foremost, for justice for Paul Chavez and my family. It is sickening that anybody has to endure this in a lifetime with a loved one. And until you walk in those shoes, people can try to have empathy and compassion, but until you literally walk in those shoes, you have no idea. None. Your life is upside down. There are children. 3 little children. No more dad. No more memories to be made with him. And we rely on this city. We rely on you, Sue. And then the first incident you guys have, you take Zoom away. You know, we don't walk in here because we don't want to. And we choose Zoom so we could still get it done. And you rip that from us. So you must really like to see us because now we have to come down here. And you have to look at us. You can't just hear us on the Zoom and ignore us and doodle on your pad anymore, Sue. You literally got to look at us. Whether you're listening or not, I mean, I don't know. You could pretend all day long because you do that pretty darn well with everything else. But La Matia should not be on this force. And if any of you have any authority or power over that, you need to use it. If you never do anything good in your life, that should be one of the things that you do to make sure somebody like that does not kill again. And when it comes to Sam Muncie and his sidekick, Sergio, that should be nipped in the butt as well. Because nobody deserves to go through that. And you guys need to do better. As a community, as a mayor, as a city. Come on. Who are we supposed to rely on? Obviously, we can't rely on anybody here. So we got to take things into our own hands. And you guys don't like that. But what are we left with? A bullshit type of review board that isn't doing anything, and now they're being ran by the police. So we just put things in place to pretend we're doing something, but we still don't do anything. I mean, just because you build a house, if you never put a family in it and work it, it's just an empty house. And that's kind of what you got. So until you guys start actually working and putting things into the places that we need them, and not into things that just make you look good and smile and you can take pictures all day with, that's where the real blood and tears and work comes in. Then I can stand here and actually clap my hands and say, thank you for trying. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for having our back. But until then, this is all we've got for you. Do better. Justice for Paul Chavez.
All right, is there anyone else wishing to come forward to speak under public comment at this time? This is for items not on the agenda.
Mayor, City Council, just want to say that we had a meeting last week with some of the lowrider clubs and the police chief It was a very successful one, a very educational one for some of the car members out there, but it was also constructive in ways that we could better work together on some things. Also, October 29th, we are requested to provide items from Modesto to the California Museum by the state capitol. It is called Boulevard Dreams is the exhibit. So if people from Modesto or yourselves would like to take a gander up there, it opens October 29th and runs all the way through the month of April. Also, it was brought to my attention, another iconic person in the city of Modesto had passed away. A lot of us in the car community know who he is, but I'm not sure if others do. His name is Kid Guitar. He was a staple on McHenry for decades. I remember as a teenager, he would be out there every Friday and Saturday night playing his guitar for money, and people would give him a quarter or a dollar or whatever they had in their pocket at that time. And so I always had fond memories of him out there singing the songs, even though he wasn't in tune, but he still tried. And I just want to show gratitude for in his memory of a loss from Modesto, somebody that I felt probably made an impact with others out there, to hopefully inspire younger kids to see him out there playing music, that they want to play music. But to me, it was just a part of our landscape of cruising up and down McHenry. And we're going to greatly miss him. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else for public comment? All right. Next on the agenda is consent items. An item may be removed from consent and discussed at the request of a member of the public or council member. Is there anyone on the council that would like a consent item removed for further discussion? Seeing none, is there anyone in the public that would like an item removed from consent for further discussion or comment? Seeing none, will the city clerk please read the consent items?
Item 3, consider approving the minutes from the September 26, 2023 council meeting. Item 4, consider approving final adoption of ordinance number 3766 CS, amending sections of Title 8, Chapter 3 of the Modesto Municipal Code to increase the city manager's authority for all contracts and purchase orders from $50,000 to $100,000 for goods, services, increasing the city manager's authority for all emergency projects, purchases, and services, increasing the formal bidding authority from $50,000 to $100,000, expanding the definition of professional services and adding language to allow electronic bidding, and rescinding the first reading of the ordinance approved by City Council on July 11th, 2023. Item 5, consider approving the recommended budget adjustments to fiscal year 2023-2024 annual operating and CIP budgets. Item 6, consider approving a will serve letter and an outside service agreement between the City of Modesto and Dana Hargrove and Kwang Chong, husband and wife, to connect the City of Modesto's existing water system for the property located at for the existing sewer system for the property located at 1613 Woodland Avenue. Item 7, consider approving an agreement for the concrete services with United Pavement Maintenance out of Houston for a total amount not to exceed $2,350,000 for a one-year agreement. Item 8, consider approving the agreements for rental fleet services with Herc Rentals out of Modesto, Holt of California, from Salida, California, and United Rentals out of Modesto for a total amount not to exceed $2 million over 5 years. Item 9, consider approving the First Amendment to the purchase agreements with Ferguson Waterworks out of Modesto, California, Iconic Waterworks with McClellan, California, out of McClellan, California, and American AVK out of Minden, Nevada for concrete boxes, covers, valves, hydrants, and fittings to a revised total amount not to exceed $8,700,000 over 5 years. Item 10, consider approving the Second Amendment for the fleet tire purchases with McCoy Truck Tire out of Modesto and Valley Tire out of Modesto to increase the agreement to a revised total amount of $2,170,000. Item 11, consider approving an updated pricing for 7 bid events for fleet additions and replacement vehicles by $381,773. Item 12, consider approving a memorandum of agreement between the Modesto Fire Department, Turlock Fire Department, Stanislaus Consolidated Fire Protection District, and CAL FIRE Tuolumne Calaveras Unit for participation in the Central Valley Incident Management Team. Item 13, consider approving a memorandum of understanding for the oversight of the Fire Emergency Medical Services Public Safety Programs between the City of Modesto and Yosemite College District for a 5-year term, and an instructional service agreement between the Yosemite Community College District on behalf of MJC and the City of Modesto for the provision of certain instructional services within the state of California. Item 14, consider approving agreements for the tree pruning and removal services with West Coast Arborists, Inc. out of Anaheim, Green Tech Services, LLC out of Oroville, California, and Rumble Tree, Inc. out of Modesto, in a total amount between all agreements combined not to exceed $10,320,000 over 5 years. Item 15, consider approving the Culture Commission's nomination to make the yellow-billed magpie the city bird of Modesto. Item 16, consider approving the plans and specs for the Upgrade Traffic Signals 2019 project with locations at Blue Gum Avenue at Carpenter Road, 12th Street at G Street, and 17th Street at I Street, accepting the bid and awarding a contract to St. Francis Electric LLC out of San Leandro, California, in an amount of $1,561,400 in change orders up to the cumulative amount of $156,140 for a total amount not to exceed $1,717,540.
All right, may I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Motion to approve?
Approved by Councilmember Wright, seconded by Councilmember Escutia Brayton. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Williams?
Aye.
Councilmember Wright?
Aye.
Councilmember Escutia Brayton?
Aye.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ricky?
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro?
Aye.
And Mayor Swallen.
Aye, so this carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is council comments and reports. Are there any members of the council that would like to make? All right, Councilmember Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. My comments are going to be about what at our last meeting and people saying that this council did nothing about the hate speech that we heard. People are entitled to their own opinions, but they're not entitled to their own facts. And the fact of the matter is the mayor showed strong leadership. Mayor Swallen showed strong leadership, control of the meeting, and cut those who were using neo-Nazi hate speech. She cut them off. And she showed that leadership that Modesto is very proud of. And I stand with her, and for people to say misinformation and just downright lie is, almost said a bad word, is wrong. Some people said this council did not denounce the hate speech. I recall talking about my family coming from Italy, having to deal with fascism, Nazism. I think I said everything that needed to be said. And for somebody to say that this council is not denouncing that hate speech, that is just downright lie. And maybe if people would stick around, maybe they would hear us. So for somebody to say that we don't stand up to hate and racism, you're wrong, you're misinformed, and you need to get your facts correct if you want to have people take you seriously and look at you as being credible. The people who spoke tonight on those topics were not credible, and the words fell on deaf ears. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Next is Councilmember Escutia Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. Since we last met, I've had the opportunity to be amongst community members and at community events that really make me proud to be a Modestoan and live amongst individuals in the city of Modesto. One of those events was El Concilio dinner. Councilmember Williams and I attended, among several other individuals, to acknowledge the good work and exemplary leadership that many of our community's members have demonstrated over the years. And they were honored with an award and certificates by senator, assembly member, and other organizations. One of those honorees was here present tonight, and that was Ms. Rebecca Harrington. And she did tonight what she was honored and recognized for at that event, and that was promoting just community events and engaging the community and bringing just recreation and togetherness and inclusion and celebration to the city of Modesto. So I was delighted to be part of that event and recognizing Ms. Harrington among others that were honored that night. Another event that I had the privilege of attending was the groundbreaking event for a church temple. It's one that really is promoting economic development and vitality in our community. It is a very large building. It's over 30,000 square feet, so it's going to take a very big presence. The entire presence is on 17.63 acres. It's in District 1, which is my district, by the Kaiser area. So the rendering, the design of this temple is just exquisite, and a lot of resources and investment and love have been put into this site and the building, and just the synergy around it was palatable. It was lovely and warming. So I was honored to have been present, also in attendance, besides the council member and the mayor, of course, who's a member of the temple community. There were our chief of police Gillespie and assistant chief Valencia. So it was a nice event that recognized the groundbreaking of this temple. In conclusion, I just want to acknowledge and condemn the tragedy occurring in Israel. I think nor does this body have any authority over what's taking place there, but at minimum, we can express our sincere thoughts and share with them our prayers to deal with this horrific situation. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Councilmember Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. I was saddened too by last council meeting's comments that came over Zoom. It's sad to hear people talk about hate and how they hate groups. It's sad in what's happened over the weekend in Israel. My heart goes out to them and to that community. But on a positive note, on Saturday was the International Heritage Festival, excuse me, which different cultures came together and had a great time. All the different countries and the different flags that were there, the different types of food, the different communication and friendliness from all the cultures with each other. It made you realize how great Modesto is. We do have a great community, and it's beautiful to see when different cultures come together to share their experiences, especially when they share their food. I think that's probably one of the best parts I like, is sharing that food. But anyway, it was a great time. I was able to welcome everybody there on behalf of the mayor and the city. We had a lot of things going on Saturday, and this council was really stretched pretty thin on all the events that we needed to be at. But anyway, it was a great time, and I'm so glad that the Parent Resource Center put this on, and it's a great event every year. I'm looking forward to next year. Thank you, Mayor.
Vice Mayor Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I also want to express my strong support for the members of our Jewish community in light of this surprise attack on Yom Kippur that resulted in the murder and kidnapping of thousands of Israelis. The actions of Hamas are outrageous and unacceptable, and ensuring the long-term health and safety of our diverse religious communities is critical for a healthy and tolerant city. On another subject, we just had a dump day on the 30th of September at Enoch's High School. It was really successful. If you missed it, it's okay, because we're doing these, like 4 times a year, Joe? Is that what we're doing? 4 times a year? So if you missed this one, it's okay. You can hit the next one. And for people that don't have a pickup truck, you can book a bulky item pickup to come to your house. Schedule it. I think it's 2 a year. And now, if you live in an apartment or condo, you can also book a bulky item pickup. So that's amazing. So you can just put it outside near your condo, and they'll come and pick it up. So bulk item pickup, if you don't know what it is, it's a way that you can dump your old furniture, old appliances, other large items that don't fit in your trash. I'm really impressed with Modesto and how well we've evolved our programs to help reduce dumping. We're seeing the success because we're making it easier for people, and so use your dump days, use your bulky item pickup, and together we can make Modesto a cleaner place. Finally, I just want to talk a little bit about homelessness. We really need to do something about homeless safe space and shelter. Right now, our parks, our businesses, and our homeowners are sheltering the homeless, and while the city's just kind of not doing everything that we can do. There's a lot more the government we can do, and we have really the responsibility to do it. We have 2 empty jails that the people of this community have financed and own that we could make into shelter. We have space for safe camping. We could put out pallet shelters. We could do social housing. We could find programs to do communal living. There's all sorts of things that we can do. And so I'm really looking forward to this upcoming council workshop that we're going to be doing as a place where we can work on new policies to improve this overall challenge. So thanks, Mayor.
Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to share my sentiments and my condolences to the families in Israel in this past weekend that have lost their lives for foolish reasons, I'll say that. However, Beth Shalom on Friday, this coming Friday night, there is a prayer vigil that's going to take place. I know that Councilman Nick Bavaro will be there, and I will be there. I was asked to speak, and we both will say a few words. That is Friday night, 7 p.m. Friday night, 7 p.m., 1705 Sherwood Avenue, Beth Shalom Church. And of course, hopefully you all can make it Sunday at 2 p.m. Starts at 3 at Brennan Theater for that event as well. It was a very, very uplifting temple dedication, groundbreaking, I should say. And we were very, I'd say we, meaning our councilwoman, Scudia Brayton, and myself, was very proud to have had the mayor speak the way she spoke. That electrified that entire grouping. It was very inspirational, and it was very on point. I did get the opportunity to mosey over to the Griseda Park for the International Festival, and I think it was after Councilmember Wright ate all the food because there was none left when I got there. But so thank you very much for that, David. But it was a great event, and Susan Mendieta Beasley, who has chaired that for at least 12 to 15 years now, is doing an outstanding job. And with that, go Niners.
Right, Councilmember Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to highlight the intentional misinformation expressed here this evening about our council not condemning hate speech. That sort of rhetoric intentionally incites fear and suspicion among the public. And this sort of misleading information and comments presented here tonight as fact are flat out false. And we need to highlight and underscore that every time that occurs in these chambers. We all condemn hate speech and racism and make decisions that are in the best interest and safety of our community, and will continue to do so. I also want to acknowledge Indigenous Peoples Day, which occurred yesterday. Indigenous Peoples Day is meant to recognize the painful history of Indigenous people who have faced hardships and to celebrate their communities. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. A few comments that have already been recognized regarding Israel, and to be mindful of Ukraine and quite the Middle East, and quite frankly anywhere where people are suffering so needlessly. They're just throughout the world constantly on my mind and in my prayers daily. I want to recognize that our Modesto Children's Museum is open. It's commonly called Mochi Moo for Modesto Children's Museum. It will be a delight for our community, and especially for the children who are our future. And it's an incredible place. And there again, it's people in this community that made it happen. People that just were passionate about making this community more child-friendly, and that is certainly a great example of that. Another area that I cannot believe Vice Mayor Ricky did not mention, but Leo the lion is back on the Virginia Trail. And those of us that are really eons older than everyone else here enjoyed Leo the lion in 1960 when he was at Children's Park, and he's back, and I confirmed it is the real Leo the lion, the same one.
Saw your initials.
It's incredible. So enjoy that. I drive by every day and make sure that Leo's doing okay. So Out of Darkness, a couple of Saturdays ago, was the Suicide Prevention Walk, another well-attended community event with so much support for family members and friends of those who either are suffering with mental illness or have been affected by suicide, which so many people have. Another thing is, please drive by our murals in downtown behind the Mochi Moo, between 10th and 11th Street, and also the big one right across the street here where there's sunflowers. If you need something to brighten your day, that will do it. So I encourage everyone to do that. Times are very difficult. They can be very challenging. We are on this council to meet those challenges head on, and I couldn't be prouder to be on this council with people that are hardworking and truly care about this community. That concludes my remarks. So at this time, does the city manager have any comments and reports?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just real briefly, and piggybacking off what Councilman Ricky said, we are holding a workshop on homelessness next Friday, October 20th at 9 a.m. That meeting will take place at Center Plaza, and the public is welcome to attend. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any matters too late for the agenda? All right, seeing none, I am calling this meeting of the City Council to be adjourned.